Well, this is the first time this has happened with the wood splitter. Had a tire go flat and it de-rimmed. So you can't just put a air compressor on and fill it up, because you're just going to be filling up the atmosphere. So I guess the easiest way to do it is lift it up and take the rim off. Well, maybe I don't have to take the thing off. Got a jack under it. Got the weight off it. Kind of have it back on the rim. So maybe I can do it just by hitting it with some air. See what we get. Yep. Not quite. We go around. Nope. I guess I gotta play around with it a little bit. The old ratchet strap trick worked. Ran the strap around the tire, cinched it down. What that did is it puts pressure on the tire and squishes the bead toward the rim. Then I hit it with a little bit of air, get some air pressure in it. So now we can take the strap off. The tire is still flat, but it's on the rim. Yeah, all better. I don't know how many pounds are in it, don't really care. I'm not towing it out on the road or anything, just rolling around in the yard. So I know it's not over pressure. Now it's gonna roll again. Yeehaw. This is a bit overdue. Today I'm changing out the motor oil and the hydraulic fluid on the wood splitter. So I gotta change this filter. And I've got this up on car ramps so that I can get a drain bucket in underneath it. I've loosened up the hose clamp on the pump. This is gonna come out red because this is transmission fluid in here. It's not bleeding. It's Dexron Mercon 3. This is the easiest way to drain it out. So just going to do this till it's all drained. Then the old fluid. I know a guy that has a waste oil furnace. He can burn old motor oil transmission fluid. And he takes all he can get for free. Free heat in his garage for the winter time. Yeah, we're almost done. This is my second bucket of this. So get her all drained out, change the filter, then start dumping in the new stuff. Alrighty. It's all drained out, so I put that hose back on, tighten up the hose clamp to get to the motor oil. Way up in there by my pinky has a hole, and it's a square that a 3/8 extension will go up into. So let's see if we can get there. All right, get her up in there. Get her broke free. I think my first rodeo with this. So. All right, we can get the socket down off in there. Hand spin it down out just a second and then get some oil. There comes the plug. Fun doing this one-handed. thing only holds like half a quart of oil, so it won't be too much. There we go. Drop the plug in the bucket, no big deal. Just let her drain out. When it's all done draining, put the plug back in, wipe everything up. I've got the fill cap cracked. Alrighty, plugs are all back in, back down on the level floor. Put some oil in it. Go a little bit at a time, make sure I don't overfill it. Have a new hydraulic filter on there. That's a 1551. And filling it up with Oilsum ATF. Just regular old transmission fluid. Bought it by the gallon because this takes quite a few quarts. Just the red stuff. Mosquito chewing on me. Not more. Alright, got it filled up. Just hitting the minimum line there now. Into my 3rd gallon. I take it up just a little bit over the maximum. So when I fire it up, it's going to pump up and fill up the filter. So, see what that does. See on there you got a min-max line. Measure it cold. So when this warms up in there, after it circulates around your shoes, it expands. Where we at now? About the maximum line. Alright, well, I'm gonna double check my lube oil in there and make sure where it's going to be, because I didn't just put some in and then check it on the stick because it had to finish running down the tube so I get an accurate measurement. Yeah, dry that off and double check it. Make sure everything's good, fire it up. Let this pump around a little bit and then double check this. Drip, drip, drip. That's gas. Throw a little bit of speedy dry right there. There's not much in the tank. I just threw in a little bit just to fire it up. So obviously that needs to get fixed. So it's leaking right at this connection here, where it comes out of the tank and runs to the carburetor. Not sure why yet, could just be an old hose. This thing dates back to, oh, well, I've had it since 2006, and the guys I bought it from had it before then, so this hose is probably been around since 2004 anyway, so it's pretty old. Okay, so obviously we don't want to play with gas and smoke or nothing like that if you're a smoker. You don't want ignition sources. Got an old jug here with some old gas in it. Just drained into that. Use a pair of pliers, squeeze that, slid the clamp off, slid the hose off, used the funnel, drained the rest of the gas into the tank. Wasn't very much. And I'm pretty sure somewhere here on the shelf I've got some gas line laying around. So what I gotta do is I gotta get all this out of the way so I can get into the carburetor and unhook it on the other end relatively easily and replace it. It's not that bad of a job. So that looks like, oh, maybe somewhere around 5/16, a little bit bigger. Bring over some 1/4 inch dry stuff. Get that plate popped off from there, then we can get in the carburetor. Should be able to do that pretty easy. All right, I got that plate out of the way. So there's another clamp. And I should be able to wiggle that hose off the gas inlet at the carburetor. There it is. So now we need a hose that diameter and yay long. I bet I can come up with something pretty quick here. Yeah, that hose has been around a long time. Be right back. Got one. All I gotta do is cut it to length. It's a piece of used hose, but hey, I don't care. Nothing wrong with it. Put a little bit of gas in the tank. A few lines clamped on. No leaks. Good to go. And put the air filter plate back on, put everything back together. Rock and roll.